Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and it's that time of year again. It's football time, and it's time to take a look at the 2015 Eisenhower Eagles. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Eisenhower Eagle Football Preview Show for 2015. I'm Tim Meyer, and I'm here with Coach Chris Smith. And Coach, how are the guys coming along this year?
Oh, look, we're coming along good. We had to replace the quarterback, but I think the kids are really playing hard, practicing hard. I think the discipline on this team is really good, which is one of the things we've really been working on. So it's still really early, and we got a lot of work to do, but it's coming along at the pace that we were hoping it would.
It's a little bit of a new year. Last year's team, you didn't score as many points as you wanted to, and you gave up a little more than you wanted to. And this year it seems the coaches are telling us that they want to emphasize a little bit more on team defense and a little bit more open offense.
Right. We got to go with the kind of players that we have. Last year and the year before, we had a really physical team, but maybe not as many, athletes out there. I think this year we have a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, and we want to utilize that.
Well, let's talk about that Eisenhower Eagles schedule. First, right off the bat, you got number 19 rated in the Detroit News today anyway, the Plymouth team from Plymouth High School, and they're coming out to Barney Swinehart to play you guys. And what do you know about them?
Well, I know they got the number one offensive lineman in the state, and so right there it's going to be a challenge for our defense to play against a kid like him, a kid that's already committed to Ohio State. I know they got a couple really good running backs that are Division I kids, and so it's going to be a challenge. I try to challenge tough first games. We challenged, I took Rockford on the last couple of years, and I wanted another good team, and I think we found another one in Plymouth. So,
and then after the Plymouth game, you guys stay home and play a week later against the Stevenson Titans, arch rival. They've been down a little bit last couple of years, but what do you know about them?
Well, they got their quarterback back, and he's one of the top quarterbacks in the county. And right there, it's a challenge. They got a good coaching staff over there, so we know defensively they're going to be tough. So we're going to prepare for them, and it should be a great rival game.
Then your team goes out on the road and they play L'Anse Creuse North, and a game you'd like to get a little revenge on.
Well, L'Anse Creuse North got a wide open offense, and they're a tough team to prepare for. We're excited to get back in there and have another game with them, getting a chance at some redemption.
They played Grosse Pointe North, which you handled pretty good last year.
Right, Grosse Pointe North, but they always have a tough team, so it's always a physical football team, and again, we have to be prepared to play them.
And then you come back home and you play Macomb, Dakota, who's you guys have played close every game since you've been head coach. You'd like to certainly get this one in the W column.
Well, it's Dakota. It's going to be a Dakota week. We made it our homecoming game this year, just as added incentive for us. And, that's just a fun game. It's just a fun game to play in. They're always well prepared, well coached. So we're excited about it.
And not to make anything easier, but then you have to go and play Stephen Claiborne in the Chippewa Valley Big Red.
It never gets easier in our league. Chippewa Valley's loaded with great players, and it's going to be a great challenge.
You end the season at home. Your first home game, game number 8, will be against Warren Mott, and they were going to be up to beat you guys last year. You played them pretty well.
Yeah, we played a great game in that game, and we had to kick a field goal to bring it into overtime, a 45-yard field goal against the wind and the rain to get it into overtime. And they're a great football team. They got their coach Tom Milanoff's a great guy. I know him well, and they're going to come out ready to play a football game.
You stay at home for your final game of the year against Romeo, and it seems like last year nothing went right in the game against Romeo, but you got them at home this year.
Right, nothing goes right when you play at Romeo anyways. Their field, they know that their field is a complete home field advantage for them. They're used to playing on it, but we got them at home this year, and hey, it's the Romeo week. We know how much Romeo hates us, and we have to have the kids ready. We didn't have them ready last year to play in that game.
Tell us a little bit about you have a new quarterback this year. Tell us a little bit about Max Wentworth.
So far, Max has been he's been a great leader. He was a great leader. We had him up on the JV last year, and as a freshman, he was the leader of that team. We brought him up with the varsity for our last few games, just so he could start preparing for this type of football. So he's a sophomore. You know, we expect him to make sophomore mistakes still, but I think we got something special in him, and you know, we'll see as the season goes.
Has anybody stood out in practice so far that you were like, I'm real surprised?
I think you always get guys that stand out in practice, but this is what I'm waiting for right here, is this first scrimmage against another team. We're going to go back and check out the film, and hopefully we got some guys that do that.
I'm here with Eisenhower's offensive coordinator in his second year as offensive coordinator, John DeGiorgio. And John, last year you guys put just shy of 200 points up, and normally we expect about 300. What do you got planned this year to boost that up?
Well, we're definitely opening up our offense a little bit more. We're trying to balance offensively, 50-50 run to pass. Last year we were very heavy run-oriented team offense. We ran the ball 70% of the time, 30% pass. But the main thing is just eliminating turnovers. We had 21 turnovers in 10 games, and when you lose a turnover battle, you put yourself in a bad situation. So that's one thing we're preaching very heavily this offseason.
And they have a new quarterback this year.
Yeah, new quarterback. He's a sophomore, and he plays like he's a senior. He's got great leadership. He can make all the throws. He handles the offense. He's a great learner, and we're just excited about him.
And you have a couple of running backs that are back this year.
Yeah, we actually have two solid running backs, and we have two other guys that we think can play. They play mostly defense, but we feel strongly about four running backs that we have. But we're going to start off the season with the two that we have for sure.
Now you've got a quarterback that can throw the football pretty well. Said he can make all the throws. Has he got some people to throw to?
Yeah, we our inside slots. We have 4 or 5 inside slots that are very quick, short guys that can move. They can break the coverage, and then we have some outside guys that are some bigger targets. We're just looking for guys like Coach Smith said earlier that want to step up, that want to catch the ball, and that also want to block. A huge part of our offense, running the triple option is blocking downfield. So we're still looking for those two guys.
And talk a little bit about that offensive line. Look like you got some big guys out there.
Yeah, across the board we're 6'2", 6'3", and all of our guys are around between 230 and 250. We ran them really hard this year. We didn't want any sloppy offensive line when we were going up tempo. It's no surprise, and we want these guys to be able to run and get the next playoff.
And when Eisenhower fans come out there for that first game, what do you think they're going to see out of this Eisenhower offense?
They're going to see an offense that gets to the ball, they get set, they're going to be well-disciplined, they're going to understand their assignment, and we're going to be explosive.
With Eisenhower's defensive coordinator, Dave Brzezinski. And Dave, guys gave up about 170 points last year, a little bit more than you probably would like, but tell us a little bit about 2015 Eisenhower Eagle defense.
Well, Tim, I think this team is pretty athletic. Okay, we're going to teach them how to fly to the ball and play more as a team. Where in the past maybe we didn't do such a good job of that with 170. What did you say? 174. We obviously our goal is to get hold our opponents to 14 or less, and so every week we would like to do that. And we didn't do that every week last year rather.
But you did have guys last year that did fly the football. It's probably one of the most hardest-hitting teams that we've seen in recent memory here at Eisenhower.
We did, and we were lucky to have those guys. But we want to emphasize all 11 at all times, getting to that football and never taking a play off. So,
well, let's talk a little bit. First, let's talk about the defensive line. What do you got out there? You had Kalashevsky. You're missing him from last year. He was a big part of the defensive end on that defensive line. But tell us a little bit about what's shaping up this year.
We lost a lot of good talent last year, but we hope to replace it with guys like Voxani, Voltaggio, little Lametta, and Coach Smith and myself are going to rotate as many guys as possible to keep the freshest legs on the field. So we'll see after today. Today is everything. It tells us who's going to be ready for next week or not.
How about your linebacking core?
Linebackers, I feel, are probably our deepest position right now, with Cody Goff in the middle. I consider him to be one of the captains. He is a captain, but the captain of the defense. He'll be starting all season long, but there's a lot of competition at that spot with Corey. at the middle. So we go deep. We go with Smick and at the outside. We're going to bring Ski down at the outside. And, of course, Saputo's back from last year, which he's one of our team leaders.
And from what we've seen today, the defensive secondary looks like it's got some speed back there.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. Although we'll see. Again, we got to watch that film. So, but we're trying to pay more attention to the details this year and try to really hit that home with all 11 players doing their job. So we'll see. We got a lot of speed with Pro back there at safety, little Servey coming in, and we get Stanley's playing great out here today. I don't know if you've seen him. He's got 2 interceptions, and then we got Rybicki back, who played wonderfully last season. So we're real excited.
So the Eisenhower fans can look forward to what type of defense?
Hopefully a team defense. Guys that just are out there having fun and getting to the ball and hopefully getting that ball on the turf. So that's one of our goals, too, this year is to get more turnovers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed our first look at the 2015 Eisenhower Eagles. For Coach Chris Smith, I'm Tim Meyer saying we'll see you next time right here on the Eisenhower Eagle Football Review.